Welcome in three to Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, live on YouTube. We are 6 subscribers away from that 100 done. We are almost there, so it's playoff mode. I need y'all to get in playoff mode. Go ahead and help us out. Get to that 100. We'll greatly appreciate it. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got my guy, the coach on the sidelines. Take them to school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good? You up 2-1?
Yes. I have nothing else to say after that, but I know we're going to get into it. But yes, we're up 2-1. So I won't use this time to talk about how great the Heat are. I will use this time to tell you how great my coaching skills are. Gentlemen, I just coached another football game. We won it again, 20-12. Okay. Changed the offense, changed the defense, and I had to bench my son a few times.
Oh, shit.
I keep it real with you. I know how to balance it. But again,
that's a real coach, y'all.
Coaching has boundaries when you're a parent, and I will respect that. But I'm going to respect it so we can get the dub. That's it.
That's facts. Hey, speaking of coaching, man, somebody on TikTok try to come for us, man, talking about some y'all ain't nobody. Y'all just on a podcast with a microphone. First of all, you don't know us. I told you, we got a coach over here for real. I've played ball, he's played ball, and Tuke know enough ball.
Exactly. You on TikTok commenting on us, nigga?
Hey, we in your algorithm. That ain't our fault. That's your fault.
Yeah. And clearly they know sports. Like we know sports. I'm talking about the algorithm. So maybe the other person doesn't know. But keep tuning in, whoever you are.
Facts.
Get some more comments,
man.
Details.
Much love.
Yeah, come on back.
Anyway, we got your favorite DJ, Sample Man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir, too. What's good?
Shit, we 2-1 too, bro. Give us credit. What you doing?
Who me? Who is we?
Give us credit. No, I'm just playing.
The Nuggets 2-1. You right?
Over Kevin
Durant. You right. Anyway, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the middle of the conference semifinals. I saw a tweet that was saying that every team that was in the Final Four of the NBA bubble is up 2-1, which for me that has no correlation to what's going on right now because the bubble was a long time ago, in my opinion. I mean, the bubble, TJ Warren was putting up buckets and Jamal Murray was putting up buckets then. He's putting up a little bit buckets now, but not as much as he did back in the bubble. But I did want to start with Mr. Coach Riley's Miami Heat. They are up 2-1, and in my opinion, it is a very convincing 2-1 because the New York Knicks, them dudes cannot shoot to save their lives. The Miami Heat have been packing the paint and just said, hey, if RJ Barrett want to shoot threes and he making them, that's cool. But Brunson, you ain't getting off, even though he had 20 points the other day. Julius Randle, you keep shooting that brick house if you want to. So I am still feeling very confident about my pick of the Miami Heat. I forgot if I said 6 or 7. I think I said 6, but chance to go 7. But I mean, Miami right now, it just looks like a team on a mission, a team that's well coached. Even in spite of Jimmy's injury from the previous game, he had a slight injury at this game, if I remember correctly, where he had like a knee or ankle something that tweaked. But he still finished the game. It's Jimmy Butler. This is what he do. We've seen the Miami Heat. Kyle Lowry's playing well. Highsmith from Jesuit, whatever he's from, is playing well. Gabe Vincent smacking threes, winning me money as far as like sports betting. But I'm gonna let Rashad do his thing, man. Mr. Rashad Riley, talk to me about your Miami Heat and this Knicks series.
Yeah, and for the guy that's my name. So if you're looking up like Sheedy, for coaching purposes, they don't call me Sheedy, they call me Coach Riley. But back to the Heat. This could be a series that we could have been up 3-0 if we're going to be frank. But what is greater than what if. And man, it's a beautiful thing to be up 2-1. It was a beautiful thing for us. Again, I keep going back to this. When it comes to playoff seeding, is very, very important and very intentional. And so we knew what we were getting as the 8th seed. And we knew once we got past the Bucks, we would have to line up against the Cavs or the Knicks. Well, Knicks got rid of the Cavs very quickly. That might I add. And now the Knicks who Brunson was scoring a lot in that first playoff series, getting to the bucket at times. And we've switched that defense. And shout out to all these players, I want to say, that make less than $3 million, right? Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, right? Naismith also making less than the players that they're guarding against. We also did because RJ Barrett, I'm gonna be honest with you, RJ Barrett was giving us a little bit of a problem as well. So what did we do? We switched him to put Butler on him, right? And then we put who? Gabe Vincent on Jalen Brunson. And that dynamic has really hurt how the Knicks play offense. Couple that with our switching with Bam. And let me put this out there and let me say this really quickly for everyone. Bam's millions of dollars that he's getting paid are for him to defend 1 through 5, or for him to set picks for players. It's for him to facilitate the offense, not necessarily for him to be aggressive offensively. Of course, will we want that? Yes. When I saw Brook Lopez sagging off him, when I see all these other players sagging off him, would I like that to happen? Yes. However, that is not what he's getting paid his millions of dollars to do. What he is doing is grabbing the rebound or contesting or pushing the ball out so we can get the rebounds and go out. Kevin Love, what a signing. So Memphis Grizzlies, well, all those players that, we couldn't sign for X amount of reasons, but BC was already hurt. Steven Adams was about to go down, but you didn't want to sign no big. Meanwhile, Tristan Thompson got into a playoff game and had a dunk. But I digress there. Back to the Miami Heat that are still in the playoffs. This will be done in 6, and you'll be lucky if it goes past 6. I don't believe that Miami Heat will lose a game in the 305. I think this is the last little rodeo for Tom Thibodeau, so to speak, with the Knicks. When I say Knicks, I mean like this playoff run right now. What the Knicks do after this, I don't even care. But I remember people were telling me that, we should try. Sorry, potty training is one thing. People were telling us we should trade for Julius Randle and trade all these things for Julius Randle. What, for him to go, 2 for 10, 3 for 10 from the 3-point line and shoot us out the game? For him not to be available with his ankle? But Jimmy Butler was. Jimmy Butler stayed in the game. So I'm just confused. We don't talk about it enough. I'll always reiterate. Thank you for shouting out Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra may be the best coach remaining in the playoffs. Maybe. And he does not get enough credit for what he does. He continues to switch up his defense on players, and our offense flows because we're doing that one extra. Just watch the possessions. There's no one besides Jimmy Butler that will get his own shot, but everyone does that one extra skip pass or one extra pass to the open player. So we're sacrificing what we think may be a good shot for a better shot or for someone that's actually hot right now. And then we're going for the rebound. We're not being upset about calls. We lock down. That is one thing that I will say that I've watched a mini playoff series this time and many playoff games. And I'll talk about it later for another series. If you don't get the foul call or if you miss the shot, ladies and gentlemen, you want to hear coaching? Get your ass back on defense because nothing's going to change. What is going to happen is you're complaining to the ref, I got fouled. Now it's 4-on-5 basketball. And now what? Because by the time you get down there, they're either going to score or go through their set in offense, and you're out of place. The Miami Heat are locked in. It's get us there mentality. Every player is getting us there. And again, let me give a kudos real quick to my man, Caleb Martin, showing up, coming off the bench and not being a starter, being able to lock down on defense, grab rebounds when he can. And I mean, if he wants to hit the 3, so be it. So be it. But again, it is know your role and get us there. Miami Heat in 6. Cap said they might go 5. We might be done there 5, but we're going to protect the 305 for sure. MSG, come holla at me. We coming for you.
Sheesh. Hey, shout out to you, Sheeta. Shout out to you. You know your team. You've been calling it. You wanted the Bucks. Y'all got them out the way. Y'all got the Knicks. To me, the Bucks are a better team. So y'all got them out with the ease. Y'all damn near will beat them in 5. One thing I'm paying attention to is the fact that in these playoffs, you have certain players, Anthony Davis, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, who got one game. They show you who they are. And then other games, they're going to show the complete crap. And what I mean by that, if you look at Jalen Brunson numbers, for example, game 1, he went 0 for 7 for 3. Game 2, he went 6 for 10. Game 3, he went 0 for 5. So if you're a betting man, you're expecting him to at least hit 2-3 threes in the next game. But what I mean by that is still the consistency of the sorry for saying this, of the nobodies that y'all have, their consistency is what's getting y'all through these playoffs. That dog mentality that we really ain't got none to lose because nobody knows who the hell we are is actually working in y'all favor. You know what I'm saying? It's working out. So I would just like to kudos to the Heat. Y'all definitely going to the next round, but I'm hoping that the Knicks put up a better matchup at least because they do have a pretty good team. We called out the Knicks earlier this season. They responded, and now they're in the playoffs. They beat the Cavs, which is something I honestly didn't think they were going to do. But they made it to the second round. My thing is maybe they burnt out, maybe they kind of exhausted. But y'all doing a great job at taking away the easy points because even if you look at Mitchell Robinson, he only scored 2 points last game. That's packing up the paint. RJ Barrett went 2 for 5, 2 for 7, something from the three. Keep shooting, buddy. Josh Hart 2 for 6. I don't see why, honestly. And let's talk about him real quick. What's the problem with him? I don't have a problem with him going 2 for 6 for 3 if he getting you 12 rebounds. What's the issue there? So all y'all trolls on Twitter, chill on Josh Hart because he doing his damn thing when he's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else can't hit a damn shot. So kudos to the Heat with their nobodies and shit. We'll see the Heat and Celtics again in the Eastern Conference Finals real soon.
Hopeful Heat.
Hopeful Heat. I like it.
What I'm seeing from Miami, and again, is Heat culture and all those things. But Miami, if they don't do nothing else, them dudes gonna play defense, man. They gonna sit there and lock in. And what their defense is doing. So in the past, like we talked about the bubble earlier, what they did to Giannis was they blitzed him and they built a wall to where you're not finna attack the paint on us. You're not doing it. What we're seeing here is Miami is literally packing the paint, and they can switch everything. I mean, Shitty just mentioned Bam Adebayo is 1 through 5. That's what he gets paid to do. He is the epicenter of that team on both ends of the court. Offensively, he's a playmaker, facilitator. He didn't have any assists last night, and I wanted some assists.
Which is crazy.
I had 4 for him last night. He didn't get none. I was like, whatever. But on defense, he is the anchor of the defense. He's like Draymond Green, but with better offensive skills and offensive abilities. So that they're packing the paint, and they're saying, all right, you got to beat us. So that's why Josh Hart and Knicks fans were mad. He was 2 for 6 from 3, and RJ Barrett 2 for 7 from 3. And they'll live with it. And Julius Randle, don't get me started with that man. I've been speaking about him for months on this podcast. The Knicks shot 8 for 40 from 3. 8 for 40. At some point, you stop shooting. You try to attack the basket and get some fouls and do something. And so that's what shot them in the leg is that you shooting the ball that feeds into Miami. Miami's gonna get every rebound. They got Bam for 1, and then people forget Kevin Love was Mr. 30 for 30. And not only the 30 rebounds, he gonna dish that mug full court with pinpoint accuracy. That's what he gonna do.
I've yet to see a game where he doesn't do that in the playoffs. That's ridiculous.
He's been doing it since college.
Since high school. I feel like that. But yeah, man, I'm damn near agreeing with Cap and saying that it might be 5 games because I can't see the Knicks overcoming it. They can't really shoot. The offense is built on Brunson getting off. And I mean, if you're the Miami Heat, yeah, you can get yours, but anybody else getting theirs? Randall not getting his. RJ Barrett, he can get his, but if he get his, that means something wrong with the offense because we know that Randall wants to score that ball. He wants the ball in his hands. So if RJ's scoring, that means somebody else is not scoring. So I feel very confident about Miami, and Miami might mess around and go to the finals, man. Like, I feel like they can beat Philadelphia, which we'll get into a little bit later. I feel like they can beat Boston because Boston is consistently inconsistent. Like they always find a way to have a good game, and then Tatum shooting like 3 for 20 for some odd reason. So I'm feeling good about Miami, man, and I'm this close to saying Miami and Los Angeles Lakers. I'm this close. I'm this close.
Hold on, what for?
Putting money in the finals. I'm close
for the fight.
Yeah.
Oh, what a segue! What a segue! I like what you did there.
Speaking of that, the Lakers, y'all Lakers, not mine.
Yeah, that's what I said. We up 2-1. Get my boys.
The only person I'm claiming on this team is not AD, but even number game
AR?
AD.
Oh, okay. I like to say
even
AR.
numbered game AD. Because our games, he ain't playing well. But the even games, he'll get 30 and 20 or 30 and 15. But
no, switch that. You were right. It's the you're incorrect. Yeah. So
okay,
game 1, game 3. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, odd number AD, not even number. Odd number AD is who I'm taking all day long. But Lakers are up 2-1. I watched that game in its entirety yesterday. And just let me know. Is this the same Warriors team that we've been seeing in the past? Because I'm like,
yeah,
they look different.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And the thing that I'm kind of pissed off is that like somebody joked and said, Draymond Green finna call Kevin Durant in the parking lot again. And I just thought about that conversation. Like, how do you start the conversation? I'm like, do you start off with an apology? Do you start off with, hey, you know what I'm saying, what's happening? Like, how do you start the conversation off? But one thing I've always said, I've been telling y'all the truth, is not the fact that they needed Kevin Durant to win the championship. It's the fact that they needed Kevin Durant to beat LeBron James. So that right there should let you know LeBron's greatness all along. He's the second best player to me ever. That don't troll me, whatever. I would never put him over Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. But what's wrong with being second? Anyway, that's neither here and there. His greatness, and when AD is playing like this, they're hard to beat. And you got to think, when the Warriors went against LeBron last time, they had Kyrie Irving. They didn't have to deal with a person that can get in the post and get a bucket anywhere on the court. Now you got AD, who, every other game, like you just said, he's the best player on the court. Simple as that. How many playmakers which has been my whole thing all season, how many playmakers do the Warriors have? Outside of Draymond Green, I give Steph Curry a 0.5, and he had 3 assists last game. But even off the bench, like, nobody's doing anything. Like Jonathan Kuminga led our bench, and he got 10 points in garbage time. That don't help out at all. Who's guarding Austin Reeves? You talk about AD, I'm talking about AR, and he having a bad series so far. I'm scared he gonna put up 20 points next game. Like, this is the Warriors team. Jump shooting teams do not win. Even though y'all came into the series saying, hey, 3 more than 2, but they got to make the damn threes. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, last game, the Lakers outshot the Warriors. Let me repeat that. From the 3, the Lakers outshot the Warriors. Anytime that happened, the Lakers are going to win.
Warriors shot 13 for 44 for 29%. Lakers shot 15 for 31 for damn near half. 50.
Damn near half. And for a team that can't shoot, that's not too bad to me. So defensively, you know what I'm saying, I expected Wiggins to come in and perform a little better. He did his thing offensively. He got 9 boards, which I'm proud of. But still, even like Kevon Looney, like, he's barely getting playing time. I think Coach Curry is getting too cute, because why is Jermichael Green starting? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You trying to fix something that you literally about to break yourself. Have Jermichael Green come back off the bench. Kevon Looney, sit your ass in the paint and try to stop AD from going crazy. If I'm Coach Kerr, that's the adjustment that I'm making, and hopefully it serves best. Because I don't even know if they out-rebound. Did they out-rebound us? By a couple rebounds. So yeah, Lakers out-rebounded the Warriors by 2. So the Lakers are literally beating us in our own game. And you still got to worry about LeBron James getting to the paint. And by the way, my man, how the hell he going 0 for 0 in the first quarter? You are, quote unquote, the king of basketball, and you not even taking a shot attempt in the first quarter.
Hey, low key, that's a slap in the face, low key, to the Warriors.
It is.
Forget a slap in the face. That's scary.
That's what making it. Like, I'm texting my LB Corey, like, bro, like, going 0 for 0 is crazy. Lord Mahomes still, Lakers win by 30. So,
like, imagine LeBron not even looking at the goal, and y'all lose by 30 first quarter. Like, what is going on? On top of that,
Joe Russell pissed. Y'all done pissed him off because y'all traded him.
Hey, he went off that first quarter. He was hooping. But hey, what stood out the most for me this game, the Warriors, and you mentioned like the transition defense for the Lakers. 4 fast break points for the Warriors. 4. That lets me know that A, the Lakers are making their shots, and then B, the Warriors are not, corralling to the rebound, because Kevon Looney's not playing that much. Say he was sick the game before. That's cap for me. I think they're trying to see a different look. But beyond all of this, this is why you remain patient with big man. You can't tell me that they would not be using James Wiseman for this series to at least contest Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, he making contested shots, but it's over 6'7", damn near 6'6" Kevon Looney and Jermichael Green. They have no 7-footer or no 6'10", 6'11" player that can defend Anthony Davis when he is on. So on top of that, getting the rebounds as well too. The Warriors are a good rebounding team, but you need length as to Tuke's point, to guard these big men. They didn't have a big man when LeBron's with the Cavaliers. They had Kevin Love. Kevin Love is not really a lengthy big man. He's like 6'9" and was like 250, 270, how big he was. So this is why you remain patient.
Not to cut you off, but Tristan Thompson was an underrated partner there too.
He was, but
give him credit on that.
But the point being is like there was no player for the Warriors to throw out there at a big man. And right now they need some James Wiseman. James Wiseman's just 22. You could have waited and remained patient. You still would have made the playoffs one way or another. But you was like, nah, let's go ahead and get out of here, not knowing that at some point you're gonna run to Anthony Davis, who I said if they playing well, it gotta be because of Anthony Davis, and I'll be damned. He's off in those even number games, but when he's on, it's like there's nothing you can do. Like mid-range, attacking the basket, putbacks, rebounds, like this man can do it all. And as a person that was hating on the Lakers, I said Warriors in 5.
Well, absolutely. I was just about to bring that up. I tried to warn you. When
I made my pick, it was for basketball reasons.
I tried to warn you for basketball reasons.
And right now, you are being made to tell the truth right now too, because I'm like the Warriors not making their shots. Like you said it for years. This is a jump shooting team, and jump shooting teams it's not sustainable long term. You got to get to the basket. What was the free throw discrepancy? 37-17 free throw attempts. Sheedy, you a coach, man. What do you say to that? Like 37-17. Now, I'm not for me. That's not cheating. That's just the fact that the Lakers are getting the rebounds. They're going back up, attacking the basket. The Warriors are jacking up threes. They jacked up 44 threes. Just made 13. Attack the damn basket. What are we doing, Steve Kerr? Get the rebound. But yeah, go ahead.
You pretty much talked it right there, right? You asked me why you're shooting threes, right? So let me say that I think Draymond said this after maybe game 1 on his own podcast, and said the fact that LeBron is not scoring like that, doesn't even have to have the ball in his hands and is beating the Warriors is scary. And to Tuke's point, and to everyone else's point, during the first half, I know he didn't get a shot attempt into the second quarter. LeBron James, to your point, and I think to everyone's point, should be arguably a top 5 player of all time. So we'll just put that right there. Or I'll say top 10 in case you're feeling froggy. Top 10 for sure. And you're telling me he may touch the ball, but he's not looking to shoot the ball in the first quarter? For 12 minutes, you're focused on LeBron, but LeBron's not focused on you. And so that allows
that's a message. Happy Sunday.
I just tried, bro. But so you then allow other players to find themselves. D'Angelo Russell, who honestly in this series hasn't really found himself, but found himself in game 3. Dennis Schroeder not only is playing great defense, but is having remarkable success with him and Anthony Davis in a pick and roll action as well. AR is doing what he has to do. Hachimura is doing what he has to do. Everyone is playing the way they need to play. The issue I have, and for all Warriors fans, and what Savage has alluded to earlier, was Steve Kerr got too cute too fast. For years, it has been everyone has to play how the Warriors play. You adjusted your lineup because of what the Warriors were putting out.
Boom.
And that changed game 2. And Steve Kerr got too cute, didn't have, to your point, Savage, the patience to ride it out. They still would have won game 2 without starting JaMychal Green, because I believe they had too much in them and they needed to win game 2. There's an or that happens in San Francisco. But because he allowed JaMychal Green that time, look at the end of the game 2. The Lakers didn't care. They were like, yeah, y'all got this one. Congratulations. Now let's head over to LA now and put it on them. And I mean, from the jump. Now I get it. There was a game of runs, and the Warriors did go up at the start of the second quarter and a good amount of the second quarter. But if you watch how the end of that second quarter happened, that's when I knew the game was over. They were putting – LeBron James had the ball. DiVincenzo was in the paint trying to help guard him while D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker the fourth was out there.
Good game from him.
Great game. And then what? They got a defense of 3 seconds. because of DiVincenzo. Dennis Schroeder, free throws. They get the ball back with like 2.8 seconds. And who attacks the rim? Anthony Davis. Curtains. And then they take the lead. And well, they were already up at that point. At that point, I didn't have to watch the game no more because I knew the Lakers would win that game. There's nothing more I needed to watch at that point. And so what I will say to Steve Kerr is, do what got you to be the 6th seed because people will adjust to you. And for the Lakers, we were wrong. We all on this podcast said the Warriors would win in like 5 or 6 games because I believe, and I won't speak for you guys, but I believe in the shooting that is happening. Now, let me go back to this real quick. I said Bam Adebayo was getting paid his millions to do his thing. Now, the pendulum's going to swing over to Jordan Poole. Getting paid how many millions? 150, 175, maybe? It doesn't even matter. Over 30 million a season. To not only brick shots.
45 with the luxury tax.
45 with the luxury tax. Not only to miss shots, but to also complain after every shot. Every shot you're not getting fouled, Jordan Poole. And now you become a defensive liability. So now what? Like, why are we paying you these millions? That's why Moses Moody is getting the time that he's getting. That's why you're getting benched for DiVincenzo. That's why. But you're supposed to be the next splash brother, cousin, stepbrother, stepsister. Don't matter to me. What are you going to do? But the pool is closed till further notice because in these 3 games, what has he done?
Hey, we closing the pool again.
Hey, I'm from the Midwest, baby. The pool don't open till Memorial Day, okay? And so go ahead and close that thing to Memorial Day. And if that means the Warriors got to go home, then damn it, we was all wrong. Because the Lakers are playing inspired basketball and the Warriors are not playing their basketball. You brought up Kevon Looney, a beast, rebounding. Keep him in. Let him do his job. If he's not, do whatever it takes to make sure that Anthony Davis does not get that ball. If that means you need to bring another player to front, if that means Warriors that you got to go to a zone defense, that's the changes you need to make, not the lineup changes. Change your schemes. Or, my fault, you can't because Mike Brown with Sacramento now. So now what you going to do? I'll leave it right there.
Hey, when you say we all pick the Warriors, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I picked the Warriors because I'm on the bandwagon. And I'm going to ride this thing out until I can't no more. But y'all know damn well in my heart, y'all know what team I knew was going to win this month. So I just wanted to throw that out. Y'all know we here. We here.
Hey, if they, so you mentioned the defensive adjustment, we can end it right here. Yeah, they're going to have to figure something out. And Steve Kerr can do it. But Mike Brown, his defensive guru, is gone, you know. But you got to do a boxing 1 and just figure out somebody follow D'Lo or a triangle and 2 follow D'Lo and well, I don't know if AD gonna go out to the perimeter, but they gotta figure out something on defense because 15 for 31 is eye opening. On top of LeBron, LeBron had one good game maybe. It's not like 30.
Right. Nothing remarkable yet. And by the way, before I don't mean to cut you off, but Anthony Davis scored 25 points on 70% shooting.
Yeah.
Jesus,
it's a problem, man. No length from the Warriors with no means to acquire personnel to get better. So that's why I'm like, I'm about to put some money on Lakers and Heat. I'm about to do it.
You know who you should put money on?
Who?
So I got a theory, man. Let me break this down.
Go ahead.
Conspiracy 2, whatever you want to call this segment.
I got you. Blue, here we go.
There we go. As a Laker, what is the one thing LeBron has yet to do as a Laker? Outside of winning championship, is
MVP.
Beat the Celtics to win the championship.
Kobe did it.
Everybody done it.
And you know the Celtics are LeBron's Achilles heel. If LeBron beats the Celtics, you know what kind of series or what kind of finals you're gonna get. It's gonna be LeBron in the finals. I see what you're saying.
So of course, I would like to see the Heat against the Lakers again, but you know it may get a little too ugly. I don't know how long y'all can last. But if you're a betting man and you know you love script writing and you've been reading the script with me for the last 2-3 months, go ahead and put a little $5-10 on that Lakers and Celtics finals while the odds are still pretty okay-ish. I should have bet this at the beginning of the year. But just want to throw that out, man. Lakers, Celtics finals. That's the only. I thought about this a couple of days ago. Like that's the only thing LeBron ain't done is, I guess, actually win a championship outside the bubble, but to me, the bubble counts. Like that's one of the best championships to win. But he ain't even win against the Celtics in the finals yet. So
okay. So
yeah, and I see what you're saying, because Kobe did it, Magic did it. Like all these great Laker teams have had to see the Celtics at one point in the final. So I hear you.
Okay.
Boom.
So we know who's not going to be in the finals, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who
in 5 they was up out of there. In 5.
So the Milwaukee Bucks have started their offseason off with a bang. One, of course, losing to the Miami Heat. We got into that last episode, so we won't get into that. But they also fired Mike Budenholzer. He is no longer their coach, which shocked a lot of people, but didn't really, I guess, shock me because, I mean, cut from the same cloth as Jenkins for the Grizzlies is from. He failed to make any adjustments. On top of the fact that Giannis, I mean, Tuke's guy, Giannis came out in the post-game interview and was like, yeah, we didn't make any adjustments. And when your star player is saying that about you, you know what comes next. Giannis actually has 2 years left on his deal. If I'm not mistaken, I think the second year it might be a player option. I'll look at it real quick. Giannis spot rack. He has it's the third year. So he has next year he'll be here, and then the following year he'll be there. That third year, which Giannis will be 31, that is a player option year. So if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you're looking at that like, okay, at some point he could ask for a trade, whether it's after next year, if he's not liking what he sees there. Drew Holiday came out and said that he's going to retire within 2 years. Chris Middleton is literally on his last leg. Brook Lopez is a free agent. So Milwaukee is literally in a state of flux right now where they might have to do some roster reconfiguration. So question to y'all, who do y'all think, or what kind of coach should the Milwaukee Bucks get? And then what do they have to do to get better for next season?
I think for me, one thing we kind of missed out on, so I like to bring it to everybody's attention, is the fact that the Bucks owner actually sold the team earlier this year. And that's something that, I didn't think would have a big effect on. But when you lose in the first round and immediately fire your coach as the go-to, they'll let me know everything that needs to be said. You're going to do everything that you can for Giannis. I think you're going to try to make this as much as Giannis team, as much as possible, because you don't want him to leave outside, especially when the contract ends, which is in 3 years. But it's a strong chance that it could, because of the new CBA rules. And with that, you're not going to be able to sign a bunch of players for one. For two, the players that will bring quality to your team, you won't be able to sign them because you still got to pay everybody else. So it's a huge chance that with the season, Brook Lopez had this season and last season, he can get one more good last payday. I can't believe I'm saying that about Brook Lopez. He was drafted in 2008, 2009, something like that. So, and he's had a resurgence. So he definitely can get a big bag elsewhere. And play for a younger team and help them go. Drew Holiday, like you said, 2 years, he done. He gone. If I'm Giannis, it's either management, y'all need to damn near give me part ownership, or I'm out. And I mean that 100%, because, like I said, to lose in the first round is an embarrassment. To lose in the first round against that Heat team is a failure of a season. So the coach that you need to go and get, you need to emphasize, defense. I'm not sure yet, of what coach. Of course, everybody talking about Nick Nurse coming in and Budenholzer trading jobs and everything. It's kind of the same coach. They came from the same tree. So you're essentially going to get, what you've been having. Will that make Giannis happy? Yeah. I mean, with Coach Bud, they won a championship 2 years ago. It mattered. But now it's like the world's looking at Giannis. And, Giannis, we need to still be on his ass. I ain't been seeing no kind of media talking about how bad Giannis was. So there may be a good media, PR team strategy from the Bucks to go ahead and fire the coach, take some pressure off Giannis. But Giannis need to be in the hot seat right now. If you're not successful next season, the next coach needs to be for a rebuild, because you're not able to compete in the East anymore, let alone win the championship. So go ahead and bring in a young coach. I hate to say it, but young black coaches like to give scapegoating until they are able to compete, then let go. That's probably going to be a situation that happened this time with the Bucks. Do I want it to happen? No. But then again, I would love to see and be talking about where Giannis can be going as a trade destination. So keep your eyes on that.
Yeah, coaching wise, man, I'm not sure. You asked the question who I would like to see there. I think actually a former Buck that I wouldn't mind seeing there. Now I know it's not going to happen because to your point, I think that the Bucks are looking for like a home run hit in regards to their coach to appease Giannis. But I remember watching videos of, and even like recently of Sam Cassell getting in James Harden, but getting Tyrese Maxey together and making them do drills over and over and over again. And he's put on a jersey for Milwaukee before. Black, by the way. And so, I mean, give Frog Guys a chance and let them see what happens. The issue with the Bucks that has already kind of been named, you had to get rid of Chris Middleton. And when I say get rid of him, I mean, you want him to sign a player option because let's be honest here. I don't know any other 29 teams that are willing to put up for $40 million for that. So you trade him. And to be honest, before the season is over next season, you probably need to change Drew. Because if a player is coming out and telling you who's making $40 million a season, by the way, that's 2 contracts worth $80 million. If a player is telling you after 2 years, I'm done, you better get some value for him now while it's hot. If not, you're going to look crazy. The bad part about the Milwaukee Bucks is this team is built around Giannis in terms of shooting. And he doesn't have to shoot. He has defenders for him. Bobby Portis is there. You talked about Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez will for sure get a payday from somebody, if get a mid-level exception at least from somewhere. But this team, why they win game 2? They won game 2 because of all the shooting that they have. And so I'm not sure what their contracts are like next year. But again, for me, I believe the Bucks need to trade of their big 3. They need to trade 2 of them before next February happens. And that's if that includes if you sign Chris Middleton. If you don't sign Chris Middleton, unless somebody else pays $40 million or whatever it may be, so be it. But I'm pretty sure as a player, I would sign for the $40 million. You got to get rid of Drew Holiday. And you have to send him somewhere before he does not have any more value for you. Because guess what? No one wants to really come to Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. However, I've talked about this before. You can trade and you can bring Trae Young from Atlanta to Milwaukee, and you can unload one of those contracts, if not Chris Middleton's contract, to the Atlanta Hawks. So I'm calling it like this. Milwaukee is cooked and done if they don't make those trades. That number 1 seed was cute. It was real cute and got you the first seat on out of there. And it was an embarrassment. So again, those are my thoughts about it. Take with it as you must, Milwaukee, but us 3 right here, we're willing to give you any more feedback. 3 wise men right here. We can help you out with whatever you need.
And real quick, Savage, like just to go off, so I'm on Sport Track right now, and all of the players that are contracted for the season, for next season, is Giannis with $45 million, Chris Mid, if he better sign that $40 million. So he'll be on the team. Drew Holiday will be making $35 million. Bobby Portis close to 12. Pat Connaughton will be making $9 million. And Grayson Allen will be making $8.5. Then you got Javon Carter and Marjon Beauchamp. I hope I said his name. They both making $2.5 million. So y'all gotta make some shake.
Most definitely. Y'all get into the logistical part of as far as like the players and long-term ramifications. I'll get back into the coaching. I think the type of coach that Milwaukee is going to need is 1 or 2 options. Either A, you need the young coach that is good with X's and O's, that can provide some energy. So I kind of compared it to the Philadelphia Eagles, where we had Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson is a great coach, but eventually 2-3 years later, I forgot how long it was, he got up out of there because he kept getting his butt kicked in the games. He has
that's where y'all won the championship, White.
Doug Peterson. Yeah, that was like what 2017, 18. But the problem with Doug Peterson was that we started off slow every single game. We could not come out fast in that first quarter. And then the fourth quarter, we had to play catch up. We would play well in the fourth quarter, but we couldn't start off well. And so he was a very kind of chill, mellow, kind of a goofy coach. Got him up out of there. And who we bring in? Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is fiery. He is the complete opposite of Coach Peterson. And he is high-powered on offense. He's going to put up points. He's going to come at you on defense. That's just what he does. And so the Bucks are kind of like similar, where it was like Budenholzer. He's kind of chill, mellow, not really fiery at all, not really inspiring. So the Bucks are either going to have to pursue a young coach that can give energy. I think Sam Cassell, he's not young, obviously, but he's young in terms of like, he's not old, like 60 years old. So Sam Cassell is a good option that Sheedy mentioned. Or they could go another route and get a coach that knows how to build a good culture to where everybody feels good about the environment. If I'm them, Lakers took Darvin Ham, I need Phil Handy. I need Phil Handy to come in. He needs an opportunity to coach. Just 51 years old. We've seen what he's done with the Lakers right now. And I think he comes in and he will coach up these guys like an actual coach. And hopefully that will keep Giannis around a bit more, because I think Giannis envies the Lakers like organization, not like obviously like in recent years, but like long term. I think he envies the organization. I think at some point he wants to be a Laker down the road. I'm not gonna speak on that right now, but if I'm Milwaukee, I try my best to appease Giannis. Giannis, who you want, man? Like, we want you to be here. This is your city. You want us a ring. We don't want you to go out like Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for those who don't know who that is, to leave the Bucks and go to the Lakers. So I'm Giannis, you in here with me. You are part of the hiring committee. Who do we need to get? If it ain't a young coach like Sam Cassell, like Sheedy mentioned, I think it's got to be Phil Handy or someone of that build. You can't bring in no like lame duck. You can't bring somebody that's like boring, that's not inspiring, that can't really coach. Need somebody with some energy or somebody that knows how to relate to the players. So if I'm Milwaukee, that's what I would do personally. As far as like the roster construction, we talked about Trae Young for months on this podcast. For months. They need to surround Giannis with legit shooters and probably a younger talent on the wing, like a somebody that's trying to get their second contract, or I don't know. I really don't know a player off the top of my head. I think Kuzma will be a good fit when Giannis get rebounds, can shoot, can score. Somebody said chill on Handy for the Grizz. Hey, look, Chris, man, I would love for Handy to be a Grizz coach, but I don't. Nah.
Phil ain't leaving LA.
He ain't leaving LA. But yeah, man, they got. I don't know what they can do. They're gonna have to trade for a player because, like she mentioned, nobody going to Milwaukee. That ain't happening. You're gonna have to make a groundbreaking move to where you need a complete like catastrophic shift on the roster. You know, you keeping Giannis, but Middleton can go. Drew can. Really, everybody can go. It can be a fire sale in Milwaukee. It literally can. So whatever y'all gotta do to make Giannis happy, I would advise doing that if I'm Milwaukee. Y'all have anything else?
No, good points on the Giannis thing. Because even like after damn near every game, he gives credit to following Coach Bud's system. Mm-hmm. And and some players, that are great, they are able to say, screw this, I'm finna go get us this win. Giannis isn't that player, but it's not to his fault. It's just the way in his style of basketball, he needs a good player coach around him. Like you just said, like everything you just said about the coach Savage, you hit it on the head, because he's going to follow the system of whatever coach, the Bucks bring in. So you're going to have to make sure he's happy.
How you feel about Kyrie?
Kyrie going to the Bucks?
Milwaukee, yeah.
I love it.
I think that's a good fit. Now I think about it, because he's a free agent. You can now part of that. I don't know if they do like a sign trade if he doesn't want to go back to Dallas, and then Dallas can get Middleton and get Drew. Then that still might be out. But Kyrie, if he wants to pair with an elite talent, do some pick and roll, or you need another scorer for Giannis, I think that might be a good fit.
That would be a great fit. My thing is, what is it fun to do in Milwaukee?
Have a beer, clearly. Have the high life.
The high life, the Miller High Life. This man. Man. All right, man. All right, so let's hear a word from our new sponsor from BetStamp. This episode of 3 to Hardaway is brought to you by the BetStamp app. BetStamp is helping thousands of people win at sports betting for free. The same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find the best prices, sports bettors can now use BetStamp to do the same. When you place a bet, The odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you can possibly win. Even when betting on the same outcome, different sportsbooks will offer varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop for the most profitable odds across all sportsbooks. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for games lines, player props, and even future bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting and maximize your chances of winning long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000 yearly just by line shopping. You can find the BetStamp app on the Apple Store, Google Play Store, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using promo code LBR. That's LBR, and start your journey to sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, you can always enter our code in your BetStamp account settings afterwards. BetStamp. Bet like a pro. All right, shout out to BetStamp. I actually used BetStamp when we first started last week, and I won $100. Shout out to Andrew.
Nice little hit.
Shout out to Andrew Wiggins getting that first bucket in game one.
Okay.
I'll take
So $1,000 worth a year. So you're up $100 right now. So you got 900 more to go.
900 more to go. Yes, sir. 900 more to go. All right. Let's get into this next series. The Nuggets are up 2-1 on the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Just thoughts on this series, man. You still feeling confident about the Suns?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I ain't got none. Well, let me not say absolutely because I guess.
No, you said it, man. Absolutely.
I did, but I just remember that Chris Paul ain't playing. And it does matter, ladies and gentlemen. It does matter. But I'm gonna roll to the sun go down.
That's it.
No, to the sunset. I'm gonna roll to the sunset. But I think with the greatness that Devin Booker and Kevin Durant have, I think they're gonna be able to will themselves to another win. It's literally a game at a time. I don't see them losing tonight against the Nuggets tonight at home. So they'll go back 2-2. It's just gonna be a matter of can they actually get one in Denver. So I'm not worried. Let's go, Kevin Durant, make me profit.
I'm worried for y'all because I feel like if it ain't Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, it ain't nobody else. And it literally takes Devin Booker going inferno every game for y'all to win, man. Like that, it was a game 2. It was like 97-87. It was just like them two. It was like David Ruffin and Temptations. Like whoever else want to come and show up tonight, it's a wrap, man. I think it's a wrap. Y'all losing tonight. I got y'all losing tonight, and I got y'all losing game 5, man. Well, not y'all, but Kevin Durant, your boy Kevin. I got y'all losing. It's
because of ain't on it, ain't it?
I was gonna be nice today, ladies and gentlemen. I was not.
We need that smoke.
Open up my Pandora's
box. Nope.
I was gonna be nice to DeAndre Ayton.
Really, man?
Because I hate y'all.
Really?
Not so fast.
We spoke on James Wiseman earlier, and James Wiseman still has a long way to go. But I said years ago that James Wiseman has significantly more potential than DeAndre Ayton because I've seen what James Wiseman can do out on a fast break. He can dribble, cross you over behind the back, finesse, like dunk, shoot, all that. Ladies and gentlemen, DeAndre Ayton that man is soft as wet tissue. It was a clip of him not going for the rebound. He was just sitting there watching like, dang, that's crazy. Y'all getting rebounds. Not only that.
Wish I can do that.
Not only that. This man is pouting on the sideline. He ain't dapping up Chris Paul going to the locker room. You do not need toxicity in the postseason. I had a bet. Speaking of BetStamp earlier, I had a bet where I put down $5. Every leg of the parlay hit. I'm talking about it was Devin Booker, 30 points. Kevin Durant, 30 points. Joker, 10 rebounds. Joker, 8 assists. The one part of the leg, my mind was thinking, oh, they going to the house in Phoenix. He going to be inspired. No Chris Paul, take away shots away from DeAndre Ayton. I said, you know what? I'll put some money down on DeAndre Ayton to give me 15 points. He averages 16 on the season. Now, he hasn't shot as well this series, but last series he had a 14 point, whatever else. This man went out there in a professional basketball game in game 3 and gave me 4 points. my guy, you are 7 feet tall. The Joker don't play defense. I love the Joker. He's my MVP. We'll get to Embiid next section, but you can't score at least double digits on the Joker who plays Olay defense. For those who don't know what Olay is, you ever seen a Matador and he just let the bull go by and say Olay? That's what the Joker does on defense.
That's what they say.
And you can't give me double digit points. Get out of here. Like, get out of here. I was on Aiden earlier in the season for not even averaging 1 block per game. He's 7 feet tall, but get that man out of here. So that is the reason why the Suns, because again, it's Booker, it's KD, and I can't even get 10 points from DeAndre Ayton. Get that trash out of my face. Y'all got it.
You can't get 10 points from DeAndre Ayton? Well, let's go look up at that box score again. Ain't nobody giving you 10 points. No one. TJ Warren, Terrence, no one's giving you anything greater than what, 7, 8 points? I thought when you come home, you're supposed to get the love from a role player. Who was the role player for the Suns to do well? Again, it's KD and Booker. That's it. And let's be honest here, Booker had a fantastic night. That man was shooting 20 for 25. So was that 80%, right? For the game? He's not going to do that again. He not. KD had a great game. And box score will not tell you how many shots he altered. I know he didn't have that many box, but he was almost close to having a triple-double. So great game from those two. The issue comes, how much can they carry with them? Let me ask everybody this real quick. Just a curiosity question. Is KD cursed? Let me help you out with that before you answer that question. He said, I can't beat y'all 3-1, so I'm going to join y'all. Then eventually he got injured, right? He said, okay, cool. I'm not going to be with the Warriors anymore. I'm going to go to the Nets. And then there were injuries with the Nets. Harden, Kyrie. He said, okay, well, I need to get out of Brooklyn because I just got swept. So I'm going to go ahead to the Suns. Chris Paul. Every part of his big three, unless it's him, has been hurt in the most crucial time, the playoffs. So, what happens next when KD can't pick up the slack? When Booker's not going to be able to shoot for 80%? What's going to happen? Because they're not going to do this again. And I agree with Savage. I don't think they win game 4. I believe the Nuggets win game 4. Now, I think the Suns put up a fight in game 5, and I'm calling Nuggets in 6. And I might have Nuggets in 5 in the beginning. It might stay with Nuggets in 5. But again, when you only have two players doing everything, and you paid a man $100 million to do what? Talking about making your money and what your money's for, they should trade him for Miles Turner when they had a chance. Miles Turner would give you more than this. And you're not even asking Miles Turner to score off pick and rolls, not like that. You would just block, rebound. DeAndre Ayton, you're not showing up to rebound. So I'll leave with that. But again, I hope that KD is not been cursed ever since he made his decision as well to leave Oklahoma City and join Golden State.
Real quick, Sheedy, I kind of got to disagree with you on the matter of.
Of course, you have to disagree with me.
That's what I'm here for.
Come on.
Of just saying like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant can't sustain this. I'm sorry, because I think they can. We've been, since playoff day 1, we've seen Jimmy Butler do exactly what he's been doing. Has he been sustaining at his one-man show? Absolutely. So when you ask me, do I think Devin Booker and Kevin Durant can sustain what they doing?
Jimmy got help though, man. Like they ain't getting help in Phoenix though.
Yeah. I don't believe Devin Booker's going to shoot 80% again. That's what I mean by sustaining.
I mean, who's gonna hold him though?
He's not going to shoot 80%.
He ain't shoot 80%, man.
I hear what you're saying. He can go off and have another 40. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Look, half of that is average. Half of that is average.
I believe he'll shoot 40%. If he shoots 40%, what does that mean? That means the Nuggets are getting more rebounds and more opportunities to score because DeAndre Ayton ain't getting no rebound for you. So that's what I mean by sustaining. I don't believe. So let me make this better. I do not believe the field goal percentages shot by those two individuals will be sustainable within the rest
and
of
KD
these
shot
playoffs.
bad, to be honest. He was like 12 for 31.
Yeah.
He shot bad.
Yeah. So again, I don't believe those will continue to happen. And because of such, look at these last 3 games, too. Who else is doing anything, bro? Let's just rip the Band-Aid off, brother. Who?
I've seen
Williams.
And I get it to the point where y'all saying they're not getting help. But my thing is, if y'all can somehow play defense, I've seen LeBron James and Kyrie Irving both put up 30, 40, for a whole series in the NBA Finals against my boys. So, like I said, I can see them still doing their thing offensively. No, the statistically, the numbers won't be as high as it was for Devin Booker, but he's still shooting 50% for 60% in this series. I'm asking who's guarding Devin Booker, and literally like who's the best wing defender on the Nuggets. They can't stop him. They can't stop Kevin Durant. Aaron Gordon ain't stopping no Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Jokic, he can't hold nobody. He can't hold water if you put it in his
Gordon
hand.
doing pretty good though. I think Gordon doing pretty well this series.
He doing all right. He doing this like that's because like he physical, which I would give him. Cool, all-star Gordon. Shout out.
Didn't y'all have him top 10 in power forwards? Somebody had him top 10, I think.
I think it was me.
I think it was you. I think it was me.
Yeah, because he's like, let's say when he was traded to the Nuggets, I thought it was like literally the perfect fit.
Yeah,
and we're seeing a man.
He been good for them this series for sure. I think so.
But it's like still the greatness of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker both on the same court. As long as they're healthy, I still think, just my opinion, I think they got enough to get over the Nuggets. Especially, like I can't even say especially if Ayton can give a B+ performance, at least the Suns can win tonight.
Woo!
I said it. I mean, hey,
I like that. It's the I and the F. I hear you. You.
Yeah, it's a big if.
and to your point, who guarding Joker?
Not Aiden. It ain't happening. I think Joker gave Aiden a 40-point triple-double twice in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken. It was something crazy like that. So,
they might as well put in Biombo.
Biombo can get it too.
They need to put in Landale. That's who need to start. If Ain't gonna play like a little girl.
Yeah.
Put in that. What's his name? Landale. I can't think of his first name.
I don't know who Landale is.
No, it's the white dude.
Yeah. Jock. His name Jock. Young Jock. Put in Young Jock. It's going down. Come on, man. Like my man had 9 rebounds off the bench. Way better physically off the bench than Ayton. If Ayton, like I said, I want to play like this, put in
this man named Jock.
You thought I was lying?
Hey, probably make a mean French toast, bro. Mean French toast.
St. Mary's.
This
man, put in Young Jock and stop playing with them, man.
It's going down for real. Let it happen.
It's going down. You start Young Jock, it's going down. You play him more minutes than Ayton, it's going down. Like, let's get physical in that paint. That's all. That's how you beat the Nuggets.
I did not know this man's name was Jock.
Yeah, me neither, honestly. Look, I don't watch the whole game.
Oh, you know, was it Jay before that? Like just Jay
I thought it was John. I thought it was John, James, Jerry,
Joseph, anything. Jacques,
Jacob. This man named Jock. I promise y'all.
So
yeah, if they don't win tonight, I got them in trouble. But hey, I mean, Booker has been playing out of his mind. KD still getting his points. So if anything's gonna happen for Phoenix to win, they're gonna have to come out and hoop. This is what they're gonna have to do, man. Next series, we talked about the Joker, who should have won MVP in my opinion, and we're now seeing why, ladies and gentlemen. Boston is up 2-1 on the Sixers. The Sixers were up 1-0. James Harden did have that 45-point game where he was like, I won't say vintage James Harden in the postseason. I'll say MVP Harden from the regular season, because games 2 and game 3, that man was vintage James Harden in terms of like getting them yips in the postseason. Speaking of me putting money on people, because I'm just now getting into sports betting, and I won that $100. And so I'm excited about, making sure that that my parlay hits. You know what I'm saying? So I do my best to make sure I know what's guaranteed and what could possibly happen. James Harden, I should know better. That's my fault. I should know better than to put money on James Harden to perform well in the playoffs. Because post Embiid coming back, winning that MVP, it seems like the offense is stagnant for them. And I think that's because Embiid, he won MVP. And Embiid, he's a very vocal person. He's a very social media, well, not as much now as he used to be, but in the past, he was very into social media. He seeks that validation. You got validated with the MVP, whether that's deserved or not, but you're going out there and you're overcompensating for what reason? You got to win games, man. You need efforts from DeAnthony Melton, from James Harden, from Tucker, from Tobias Harris, and with Embiid going out there and having to score, not having to score, but trying to score as much as possible. That's slowing them up. And then James Harden, I mean, we talked about this ad nauseum, not even on 3 to Hardaway, but like on LBR back in the day. James Harden, that's a that's a commandment. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And that's what James Harden has been. That's what he will continue to be. And don't let me get started with Glenn Rivers and his adjustments for the basketball game that we've seen. So I picked Boston to win this series, but even going over to Boston, I'm not really convinced about Boston, which is why I feel like Miami is probably going to go to the NBA Finals. Boston is just too inconsistent in terms of like, I'll say this, Jaylen Brown, he been hooping all playoffs. He just been it. Tatum, he's up and down with his performances.
Shout out to that conversation that we had.
Yeah.
About Tatum and Brown.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that we're seeing the flaws in Mazzulla as a coach. He's still in his first year trying to figure things out. So I can't really just knock him off completely. But he is a new coach. He wasn't even on the bench. He was behind the bench before Ime Udoka got freaky with coworkers. So yeah, I'm not really proud of any of these teams, whether it's Boston or Philly. I don't feel good about them, but because Philly has Glenn Rivers, because they have James Harden, because they have the former Houston Rockets GM Daryl Morey on their roster in their organization, we're seeing the fruits of their labor by Philadelphia literally choking right now. And if they don't win tonight, that's going to be even more embarrassing because James Harden is going to go out to Houston, and Philly is in a tough spot for the offseason.
I tell you what don't feel good is Al Horford calling himself an elite 3-point shooter.
I mean, technically 45%.
No, ain't no damn technical. No.
45% from 3.
Nah. See, you could definitely go next, but nah. Elite, like the key word vocab was savage. We definitely got it. I'm telling you, we bringing it back. I ain't looking it up now, but we know the elite, what elite mean, and it's a matter of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, that whoever else you want to name. No, Al Horford. Nah, you're a good shooter. 45% of the season is good. It's great. But that's probably because they're leaving you open too. Shady.
Yeah. So elite, the MVP. MVP Joel Embiid, by the way. Who again, I agree. I don't believe that this season
y'all some
was
haters.
his.
Y'all are some haters, man.
Hey, no. It's my opinion. You had your opinion about your sons. I have my opinion about Joel Embiid being MVP.
And I got an opinion on y'all being haters.
Oh, and that's fine. We can go to stats later. What I will, matter of fact, let's get right to the stats. Joel Embiid versus Celtics in the postseason. Anybody know that? 1 for 9, 1 out of 10. Trash. The problem is their coach. I'll be honest with you. I probably shouldn't be saying it like this out loud, but Glenn Rivers should bench the MVP to start the game.
Nah, you crazy. You smoking crack now.
Okay.
You went from what?
And Franklin Say knows me. I got some debt with him. Okay. What I'm telling you is, why did the Celtics lose game 1? Was not because of Joel Embiid. It was because Joel Embiid was not the focal point of the team because he was not there. So the ball is not sticking for Joel Embiid. Game 2, you saw it. It started to happen. And then game 3, when he got his award, it's the same thing. So to me, bring the MVP off the bench. Give him a chance off the bench as opposed and playing with a more or less a second unit or what have you. Just because he comes off the bench don't mean he's not going to play 30 minutes. I'm not saying that. but it's a different mindset because you're playing through James Harden, the James Harden of Houston. And then you have your closer, your MVP, come in and really start taking over the game. If Glenn Rivers does not do those type of if he doesn't do adjustments, this is over in 5. That's it. And that's a shame because the MVP shouldn't be getting out like that. I'm gonna be honest and frank. So what I'm saying to you right now in front of everyone, I don't care if Steve Kerr can make adjustments as he's made. And if Glenn Rivers wants to think about seeing anyone in the finals, he better make an adjustment of just sitting and not resting, so to speak, but benching MVP Embiid for at least the first 7 to 8 minutes and then bring him on. What is it going to hurt? You've already lost 2 games with him in the starting lineup. Why not try something else? If you don't want to try nothing else, then come on back to Philly and you can try it there.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, ladies and gentlemen. So please stay away from it. Please, please, please. Because you want 30 and 13 to come off the bench. I get what y'all saying as far as ball movement. Look, I get it. But Joel Embiid is the MVP of this year's NBA season. Deservedly so. You not finna sit here and tell me you got the best, in my opinion, we talk about opinions, the best big man in the NBA coming off the bench. You got to be smoking crack. And it's the bad shit too. So I really
I get it right from Julio and them.
Oh, Julio got your mind twisted, my boy. Look, man. Maybe, just maybe, they're losing to the better team. It happens. Glenn Rivers, y'all put me on that train of how he's not able to make coaching adjustment. Y'all put me on that train a while ago, so I ain't gotta go there. But the fact that you want Embiid to come off the bench, like when he came back game 2, he was obviously he won himself. I give him that. But still, 30 and 13 is not bad. James Harden had 11 assists. So if you want to talk about somebody moving a ball, you may want to look at him first. He the one that got it in his hand most of the time.
That's the season average, though, was 11. So he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Finally. Yeah, 16 points. Can't hit nothing. Shout out to him. My thing is Maxey. Like, he played 40 minutes, but it felt like he didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. That's coaching. Moving the ball around, creating some kind of offensive schemes, that's coaching as well. But you can't have no MVP coming off the bench, dog. In the NBA playoffs, nah.
I mean, I don't agree with Sheedy putting him off the bench. That ain't gonna happen. No, but Doc got to figure something out. And right now he's getting. I mean, Doc, you've been in the league for what? You've been in the league as a player. You've been coaching the league for 20 plus years. You have to make an adjustment. Not put Embiid on the bench, but there needs to be some kind of shuffling to figure out how to defend the Celtics, but 2, how to get some easy shots. Because right now Embiid is just holding that joint and trying to go beat him. Which, I mean, again, in the regular season, that's what got them a lot of their wins. But right now, game by game, we're seeing the chess match, and they're gonna have to make an adjustment. I don't know what it's gonna be, but
I mean,
figure it out.
Honest, and then I'll be here. PJ Tucker shouldn't be starting. But somebody else out there.
He's been trash. He's been trash.
It's not like he's scoring points. Like, I get it.
3 threes last game.
Supposed to be defending, right? Supposed to be one of the best defenders. I think he might be guarding Jaylen Brown a good amount of the game. That's great. You're still down 2-1, and you're not scoring. So maybe it's your boy D'Anthony Melton getting a start ahead and not moving Tobias to the 4, keeping Joel Embiid, I guess, at the 5. But you have James Harden also. We haven't said enough about him either. After game 1, that was his finals. Game 1. That was him winning a ring game 1. That was it. We all thought, oh, he's telling the 76ers to go to the locker room. That's only one game, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, he's clearly left it. You talking about cocaine. This man is making it himself when he goes to the rim. He's not being himself. He's really in his own head right now. So coaching, maybe it's in benching James Harden, who also is an MVP. So I don't know what you want me to do. But Glenn Rivers got to come up with something, or else he'll be out in 5. Yeah. And Philly's going to have to reconsider many of things after that.
Real quick, y'all. Just to kind of shift it away from the Sixers, what are y'all's opinions about Jason Tatum right now? because I feel like one game he got foul trouble. He had like 7 points, and I mentioned before Jaylen Brown been hooping like every game. Every game he's locking down his matchup and then going to score 30 points on the other end. It was actually one game where he only had like 11 points in the half, and turn around he ended with like 28. But I just want to know, what do y'all think about Jason Tatum? Just what comes to mind right now off the top of your
head? For Jason Tatum, the thing that comes to my mind is how well Ime unlocked him, and at all points, right? So like, even, and I'm talking about the playoffs. I'm not talking about the regular season, right? I'm talking about the playoffs. Ime told him what you need to do against the Nets, and every other series after that. And you have to find what is going to work for Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is you still have to close out him for threes. You still have to worry about him going to the rim. But he's not really, to me, he's not finding his rhythm during the game at all. And so, might I say that 76ers somehow are taking him out of his rhythm? No, maybe he's not. They're blowing him out so much. Tatum is like, whatever. And I think he's not motivated against this team. If I'm being honest, maybe it's that Tatum is not motivated to play this team because he knows for sure that this team is done. So I'm not going to base off of just one series because I believe that they're definitely going to win this series. I just feel like he is unmotivated to play against James Harden, Joel Embiid, and the rest of the 76erettes. That's what I believe.
You know, that's a great point, because when he played in Miami last year, or whatever that was, it was like, oh my gosh, he giving y'all work every single night. That's a good point. He's kind of giving me AD vibes, where it's like, you can go dominate. Just go dominate. But it's like one game he's high, one game he's low. One game he's high, one game he's low. I just need him to go dominate. But what you get?
And that's literally what I was about to say. Like, the consistency of Jaylen Brown is why I pick him over Jason Tatum. But when Jason Tatum's on, he's the best player on the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. That's clearly what we're seeing. I think he is, I think it is crazy to say him and LeBron James are kind of cruising right now, but it kind of feel like they are. It kind of feel like they're getting ready for the next round because they know how to beat the teams that they're going against. The Sixers damn near beating themselves at this point, in a way. So again, you asked the question what I feel about Jason Tatum, best player on the Celtics when he's on. When he's going, definitely one of the more versatile players. But we also got to think about the Celtics roster. The Celtics, just as we call, the Heat a team full of unknowns. I ain't gonna disrespect the Celtics and say they unknowns, but they do got some players that aren't household names that are putting up buckets this season, this series, this whole playoffs really. So when Tatum's not going, the team feed off of it and are able to make adjustments. When he is going, the same thing is happening. And at the same time, you still got, Brown's consistency, still locking up James Harden, still doing everything he needs to win. So, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, from one light-skinned player to another light-skinned player. Two, you want to talk about Dillon Brooks and his scapegoat, not even from him, but from the media. But I'm going to let you do you on this segment because I'm done talking about Dillon Brooks because y'all told me on Starting Five that we were done with it. But I'm gonna let y'all rock with this. So go ahead.
Don't renew that stars that player. Don't do that.
So I'm not. My thing is like I didn't expect to be talking about dude ever again on this podcast unless we talking about what team he went to. But I wanted to call fair, and what's fair is fair. We have not made Dillon Brooks to be the scapegoat of why the Grizzlies weren't successful this season. It's just everything else. You can go from youthfulness, you can go from injuries, you can go from them not having a veteranship to trading the veteranship that they did have. Dillon Brooks did play on the court. He did, I guess, off the court too. He did play a huge role in the Grizzlies' unsuccessful season. But if you're gonna make him as the reason why the Memphis Grizzlies aren't in the playoffs right now, it's kind of unfair. For the report to come out and said that the Grizzlies aren't signing him at all under any circumstances, I think our front management is smarter than that. I think our front management trusts the players a little bit more to kind of hit a man while they down, especially with the connection that they all had with Dillon Brooks. We can say what he want about him, but the Grizzlies and Dillon Brooks did have a good relationship from what I saw. So I think whoever made that report, they need to chill. They need to be called out. But if you want to look up, again, vocab with Tuke, vocab with the squad, scapegoat. a person who is blamed for the wrongdoing, mistakes, or faults of others. He's being blamed for a lot of things, but you cannot put this all on Dillon Brooks on why the Grizzlies weren't successful. You cannot blame the fact that he was talking trash to LeBron James. Come on now. That's the reason that the Grizzlies lost. That's what y'all got to say. Oh, he talked trash to LeBron. He poked the bear. I would have too. That's what you're supposed to do when you're a young basketball player trying to beat any other body. Has he talked trash to Steph Curry? Yes. Has he talked trash to Klay Thompson, anybody else he played in the playoffs? Yes. So to say that he is the reason why the Grizzlies are unsuccessful, I just thought it was unfair, and I wanted to bring that attention on this podcast because we've been critical, as we should be. Do I want Dillon Brooks off this team? Oh, please. I've been wanting it for 2-3 years. But to make him the sole reason as to why the Grizzlies were unsuccessful is unfair.
I'll chime in real quick because I'm done Dillon Brooks till we see Dillon Brooks signs with the Cavs or the Kings or the Mavs or whoever it is. What I'll say is that I think even regardless of if the Grizzlies said under any circumstances or not, he is an unrestricted free agent. His tenure with the Grizzlies ended as soon as the Grizzlies lost Game 6. That's just what it was. So anything that the Grizzlies decide to do beyond that, when they said you ain't coming back, we don't want to sign you, we don't have an interest in you, that's fine. Like the backlash the Grizzlies got for that, I didn't understand that at all. I didn't understand the national media going out on First Take and Undisputed. I don't watch those shows, but everybody was tweeting about it, so I had no choice but to see it at some point. I didn't understand that. So Dillon Brooks, he was great for the Grizzlies. He helped build the Grizz next gen culture. But I mean, he is not Ja. He is not Bane. He's not Jaren. He was not going to get paid 25 M's to be a fourth, fifth option to jack up 15 shots and make 2. So Dillon Brooks, Godspeed. Amen. God bless. I hope you get your bread from somebody, and I hope you continue to brick shots when you come back to the FedEx Forum next year.
As I've said before, if Dillon Brooks knows anything about being a Mason, he knows to travel east, and that's exactly where Dillon Brooks needs to go, somewhere in the east. Unfortunately, of the teams you name, you need to add another name there, and I honestly think Miami will be in the running to sign Dillon Brooks. And the difference between Miami having him and the Grizzlies having him is a coach that knows when to sit their players down and shut them up. That's the difference. And let's be honest, the scapegoat here of Dillon Brooks being the scapegoat for why the Grizzlies lost, but Budenholzer got booted and he brought the Bucks a championship, but there's not Taylor Jenkins didn't do anything wrong though, right? He did nothing wrong. I mean, like I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, so there's not, we're gonna blame players, but we're not gonna blame the coach who has yet to bring us a championship, has yet to bring us to the Western Conference Finals, let alone a championship, who could have been exited last season against a Timberwolves team who stink it up, and this season got outcoached by LeBron, and you gonna tell me that Dillon Brooks was the reason that they lost that series? But the coach controls who's in and out the game. But we didn't want to say anything about that. We don't want to say, hey, Taylor Jenkins, you know what? You were in the wrong. Why don't you get the boot? Why can't you be on the hot seat? Along with the players. But we skip past that. We gloss over that. Why? I don't know. I don't understand y'all. For real. I really don't get it. Again, look at the history. Look, I know y'all have seen enough on social media about this. Last 4 coaches to win finals and be champions, 3 of them are gone. But we want to keep Taylor Jenkins around. Okay, that's great. So you're looking to not be in the championship contention again until that changes. So stop scapegoating Dillon Brooks. Start from the top down, and I don't mean the management itself. Management has shown you who they are. They're going to keep going young. They're not going to trade for anybody but Luke 316, and that's it. And this is what we got. The development happens not because of the front office. It happens because of the coaching and the coaching staff. but we want to blame front office. We want to blame Dillon Brooks. We want to blame you see what I'm saying? Fast. They want to blame everybody but the coach. But the coach got us a championship, though, right? We've been in the finals before, right? We've been there, right? Check the track record. Get Taylor Jenkins up out of there. Fast.
Speaking of that, Sheedy, and we can end it right here. I used to watch a lot of Colin Cowherd on Fox Sports, and he said this about coaches: fire fast, hire slow. Simple as that. Get them up out of there as soon as you say, this ain't gonna be it. But take your time when you're trying to find the correct candidate. And I've been on that train for about a year and a half with TJ. But we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna let the offseason run its course. Speaking of the offseason, next week we're not recording on Sunday. It'll be Mother's Day, and so we'll be tending to the beautiful women in our lives. But we will be recording, going live on Tuesday for the NBA draft lottery. So we get to finally figure out who is going to take Victor Kamehameha. Shout out to Tuke.
Hey.
And we'll also see, because number 2 and number 3 is kind of up in the air, because some people saying Scoot Henderson, some people saying Brandon Miller. We'll see how that goes, but we know for sure next week who will be drafting Victor Wembanyama. So until then, stay safe, be blessed, peace. Good shit, gentlemen.